What's going on, everybody? And on here, and it's time to take a look at Journey Together and how well it is selling pre-release. So I think what's fascinating is, I've been tracking this really since Temporal, and Journey Together is just like it's crushing everything. So if we go back, and I have this kind of truncated into a couple different areas here, and this is an absolute smash home run by the Pokemon Company for Journey Together. Um, you know, I've logged Temporal, I've logged Twilight. Temporal was a little bit of an upswing from Paradox. Twilight, absolute trough. Stellar was swinging forward, but that was also kind of with the tailwinds of Twilight and Greninja. And then Surging, it was moving, but when you go into the effectively 30-day pre-release and prior, because some of the pre-release or the ability to pre-order these projects, sometimes they go back 60 days, sometimes it's 65, sometimes it is 55. So I just kind of take 30 to 60 as everything from 30 days, like a month before release and past. And then look at Journey Together. Absolutely annihilated all of these numbers. Almost 4,100 boxes sold, and this is only TCG Player. And the average price of these is over 200 bucks. It's absolutely insane. Um, so this is the equivalent of cases, and then individual booster boxes. So, um, you look at Temporal and Twilight and Stellar and Surging. The price of all these boxes was 95 to 105, maybe 110. Because this is really before Surging started to move. Surging didn't start to move till probably 30 days pre-release. And then at release, it was, I think, 145, 150. But I mean, even 2 days before or 2 weeks before, I mean, when we paid for our orders, um, I believe the price was 125. So we're like, yeah, we're gonna make at least 25 bucks on these. We were super excited for the first time in 2 years ish. Yeah, a little bit less, but yeah, you guys get the point. Um, but yeah, Journey Together is absolutely crushing it. And the reason I do this is, you know, there's a direct correlation between the sell through rate and, the price of the product as things move. And with Surging Sparks, everything started dead and it started to ramp up and build on itself and kind of snowball. Now, with Journey Together, you're starting at the peak. The question is it going to continue to, uh, you know, move higher, or is it going to slow down? So again, 400 or 4,000 boxes, 4,100 boxes at 200 bucks each. I mean, or 4,000. I mean, you're talking close to $1 million all in. Um, really, really, really a good price. Um, so anyway, let's go to this is minus 29 to release, and there's 13 days left for Journey. So we effectively have 16 days in here. So this is effectively capturing, the week before release is absolutely crazy. So the comparison here isn't great. Tempora sold a lot. Twilight was dead. Stellar was okay. Surging again, a lot of product the week of release because people started getting hyped up. They started seeing um, the Japanese Pikachu sell, and I think it was like 300 bucks, 350, whatever. And it started to move, but Journey Together is only 1,566 boxes. But again, the 13 best volume days are left to go. So I would be highly surprised if Journey Together doesn't outsell Searching Sparks in total in the next 13 days. Now, I mean, look, you're talking 4,000 boxes, so 350 boxes a day, something like that. May not happen, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So let's go to the total pre-release, and this is this is where it's interesting. So this is basically everything from the day of release and prior. So you have 4,080 boxes for Temporal, Twilight 3,244, the absolute bottom of the bear market. You go to Stellar 4,251. Quite honestly, I would have expected that to be a little bit better because it started relatively well. And I think it started well because, you had the Squirtle and the Bulbasaur and the Terapagos spoiled, and then quite honestly, nothing else. Because, you had some of the trainers, and the trainers do well in Japanese. They're pretty garbage in English. And then Surging, you know, 50% more volume than Stellar. And Journey Together right now, I mean, Journey Together pre-release is going to pass and absolutely annihilate Surging. So, um, what's interesting is, again, the 6,300 sales for Surging, you probably have an average price of around $125. The 5664 of Journey Together with 13 days left, your average price is north of 200. So there's so much more gross dollars in Journey, and um, there's so much more interest. So it's going to be super super fascinating to see what happens, because we've seen Prismatic start super high. It's kind of churned a little bit at close, or at release, I should say, and really that's because a lot of the people scalping, or buying an MSRP at 49.99, 54.99. There's plenty of room to sell that when the ETBs are at 120 bucks, right? But with Journey Together, the booster box is at 161 and change. You really got to get to 210, 215 before you start to make money, before it's worthwhile, especially on TCG Player, because 161 you're paying 6% tax, so you're already at 175, call it, and then another 14% fee, plus $10 shipping. 215's kind of the bottom here. So the air pocket that we saw with Prismatic Evolutions, I really don't expect to see here with Journey Together, just because you know you can scalp it, but you're not going to make a whole lot of money until you get to that point. And then everything above that, it's free tendies. So I really have a hard time seeing this box drop really under 225, to be honest with you guys. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll continue to track this, and put out a video on release date with the full information. And I think, again, it's super fascinating because I'm not really factoring in the average sales price, which matters, but total boxes sold is really effectively just the total boxes off the market. And the other thing that's interesting with Journey Together that didn't happen with Surging, Stellar, Twilight, or Temporal, there are thousands of boxes of being sold off um, MJ Holdings, GT Collectibles on Walmart, which, again, biggest distributor buying direct from Pokemon, and basically just scalping the shit out of everybody and cutting out the middleman. So anyway, guys, hope you had a good Saturday evening. Like the video, subscribe, and join the Discord, and we'll talk soon.